thinking about? What you thinking about? What you thinking about? What you thinking about?
What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. So, Dark Carnival Games Convention website has launched, and it looks like it's going to be a hell of an event. It takes place in April on the 21st, the 22nd, and the 23rd on a weekend in the northern parts of Detroit. It's pretty much looking like a little mini gathering. I mean, you come on here, they've got their own website just like the gathering does. There's a full-on program just like the gathering has. There's a timeline that looks extremely similar to the gathering itself, you know, with multiple things going on across the weekend there. And there's even a map. I mean, it feels like a full-on mini gathering. It's actually something I'm kind of hoping I can make it to, but I really don't know. I work in retail, and April and May actually happens to be our busiest season, which is usually when we are not allowed to request time off. That is totally stale. But one thing I wanted to kind of point out and bring kind of as a topic is whether or not the gathering is going to take place this year. I know this is something that's already been brought up and talked about before in the past, but you know, typically this month, the end of this month is when the location is announced, the tickets are put on sale, the website launches, everything like that as far as the gathering goes usually happens at the end of January. Now, Jump Steady being the master planning ninja that he is, man, he puts in a lot of time and planning for the gathering. And that's exactly what he did for the Dark Carnival Games Convention, which obviously this website, everything has launched, and it kind of shows that this has been in planning for some time. So does that mean he's not been looking for a home for the gathering for this year? You know, what kind of planning has gone into the gathering itself? And I wanted to point out, I had plans to make this video. I thought about it all day today after checking out this website early this morning. And I managed to come home and see that CPN made a new video actually talking about ICP performing at Rockfest. And he made a good point right around this mark right here. If you go watch his video, I will put a link in the description. But he makes a good point about Rockfest being in July. And he says it's kind of an underlying issue. And he wonders if there will be any kind of confliction there. But Rockfest takes place on I believe the 13th and the 14th of July, which is typically around the time that the gathering is. Now, he didn't really come out and say, does that mean there's no gathering? But that kind of makes me wonder, if there is going to be a gathering, is it going to be a smaller, downsized gathering with everything going on this year? You have the Dark Carnival Games Convention. You have the March in Washington going on in September. And I know they talked about combining the March and the gathering together, and that really pissed a lot of people off. So they pretty much kind of backpedaled and said, no, the gathering's still going to happen. But with the Dark Carnival Games Convention being planned, announced, and you know everything that's going into it, I mean, they're having after parties and everything where the entire psychopathic roster will be performing. You have 2 different nights where they're going to have after parties. It really looks like a mini gathering. So that kind of pegs the question. If they do a gathering this year, is it going to be a full-scale gathering like we're used to? Or could we just very well see 3 mini gatherings this year, with the Dark Carnival Games Convention being number 1, the gathering itself being a smaller downsized gathering, and the Juggalo March being more or less the 3rd mini gathering this year? I purely, this is speculation, but I'm really wondering if this could be the route they may end up taking. Because like I said, with everything going on and the fact that they had already talked about and were thinking about combining the March and the gathering together, could this be a route that they're going to go so that they can still say, hey, we put out a gathering, or we're going to have a gathering, but without putting as much into it as they normally do? I don't know. I think it's a likely possibility, but again, it's just kind of a thought that I happen to have today. So I think that would be dope if they did still do a gathering, even if it was a mini gathering. I think I would be okay with that. I know it'd be disappointing, but nonetheless, we would still get a gathering. This Dark Carnival Games convention seems really dope. I really wish and hope that I can make it, because I'm seriously thinking about it, like asking my boss what are the chances of being able to go attend this. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below what you think. Do you think there's a likelihood that they could be having 3 mini gatherings this year? And if that's the case, tell me your thoughts about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe and check out my What You Thinking About playlist.